All right, guys, welcome to yet another Webfire Wednesday webinar. If you're brand new, welcome. If you've been here for a long, long time, welcome back. I got some really exciting stuff to share here, including on this call, we'll actually reveal a new tool that, guess what? You guys won't have to pay a penny for. If you want to, I'll give you my personal PayPal account. You can send me as much as you want, but for those that aren't as generous, you can get it for free still. So that'd be really, really cool, and that's inside of Webfire, and it was just actually added, I think, about a day ago. So some pretty cool stuff right there. I'm real excited about it, and I'll share off what that is in just a bit. I'll do a live demo of that. Then we'll also talk a bit about how to reply to leads, because we briefly talked about this, I think, on the first call, but I saw a lot of guys still didn't seem to really get how. They tend to do stuff that wouldn't get them results and all that, so we changed it up a bit, or not changed it up a bit, we basically added it onto this training here just to briefly cover some stuff that I think will help you a lot with some actual examples of good versus bad and some actual cases that you can use. And then we'll also talk about how to sell services and stuff too. So I know a lot of you, are very interested in selling like web services to other businesses and stuff, and of course you can use lots of stuff within Webfire to do just that. So we'll talk about all the stuff again you can do with that, as well as what I think are 3 very awesome tricks that you can do to sell almost any kind of service and stuff out there, and really get results and stuff fast. And then of course at the very end we'll have a Q&A too. So you can ask any questions you want throughout this entire call. Just type it in the little chat box, and either Sean or Sharon will write you back as I talk, or at the very end, I'll answer the questions with Sean and stuff live too. So you can ask those questions at any point that you want. And of course, if there's always any questions or issues that you have, you can always reach us in the help desk inside of Webfire, or by writing support@webfire.com, because again, we're always here for you. So with that, again, my name's Brian Kaz, and I'm joined by a friend and business partner, Sean Casey. So we'll get this show on the road here. So again, welcome to these calls right here. And these calls, again, are every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you that are in Australia, good night or good evening or morning or whatever that might be on Thursday. And for those of you in the UK, obviously that'd be the evening on Wednesday. But every time we'll have them Wednesday at 2 Eastern. And if you can't make that, or if it's an inconvenient time, no worries at all, because within about a day, we'll have the replay up in the members area, so you can watch it there. Of course, if you can make it live, it's best to attend live, because you can ask questions and all that stuff. But if not, you can always show up there and always write us with your questions and such, so no worries there. Now, all of these trainings will either feature myself, Brian Kaz, Sean Casey, who's also on the line, or they'll have both of us at once, like right now, or occasionally we'll also have like a featured speaker or guest if we think that their expertise would be of value to our members. So Sean and I know like a lot of different people that do a lot of very different cool stuff, and occasionally, we happen across, people that were like, wow, that's a pretty cool thing that, you're basically doing. Would it be possible if you could, share that with our members? And we can usually convince those guys to do just that. Like, if there's a guy that all he does is like e-commerce stuff and has some pretty cool stuff that we think would be relevant, we'll make sure to, make them a featured guest, at some point. Or if there's a guy that, does really well at selling, services to businesses or stuff like that, we'll try to feature guys like that on here occasionally as well. Of course, most of the time, it'll either be myself or Sean or both of us, but just a heads up on that. Now, if you're here or you're registered for this call or this series, you'll get a reminder each week so you don't forget. But if you can't make one, again, we'll have the recordings in the members area within a day or so under the training tab on the left side. And usually the most recent call you'll also see in the members area towards like the very top. We'll have like the latest call. But if you're looking for like a past one, make sure to click on the training and you'll see the past Wednesday calls there. Now keep in mind, there's like a lot of you that I've seen that will like, like for instance on last week's call, we had like a lot of guys that said, hey, can you talk about this, or can you talk about that? And it would be like a topic that we basically covered in detail on the call prior. So make sure that you actually check out those and stuff too, because oftentimes the stuff that you guys are wanting more info on has already been talked about a lot. So make sure you check out that there. Of course, we sometimes do like a little bit of overlap on stuff if it's some really important stuff. But as a whole, make sure to check out prior training and stuff too, so you get to make sure you get trained on whatever you want. Now, you should also again use these calls as an opportunity to get even more training, ask questions regarding like methods or strategies or tips, get feedback, or also make some suggestions on what else you'd like to see. A lot of the additional features and tools and stuff that we've done have come from suggestions of our users. Now, obviously we sometimes get like a lot of suggestions at once, so it's not like every time it'll be made within like an hour or two, but we try to put everything that makes sense on a to-do list. And just in the past week, we've probably done at least like 3 or so features that have been requested, and we probably have like right now probably like 10 or so in the works of like stuff that users thought would be pretty cool if we had and all that. So again, keep those coming, and we'll try to make those happen. So once again, we'll go over the 3 Webfire member rules to success. Step 1, follow the steps in the trainings that we have. Oftentimes I see guys that get lost because they don't follow the exact training that we give. Second, don't give up. Seek help when needed, but don't get too dependent at the same time. Like, again, I've seen it go both ways. I've seen guys that, if they don't get, within like a day, they think, oh, this sucks, it didn't work, and they're not following the training, they're not sticking to stuff. Or if they contact one lead, they'll say, oh, that lead didn't buy like my $5,000 product, this sucks. Again, you're giving up too soon. But at the same time, don't get too dependent where like you get into like the helpless state where like you have to ask support like every minute how to basically spoon feed yourself. So I mean, a good mix of that we've found is the best in terms of like the members that do the best tend to stick to like a middle ground there. And most importantly, third, no whining or negative attitudes. That's probably the quickest way to fail. Because if you have a negative attitude, you'll always find something to be down about, and no one really wants to work with a downer. And there's always stuff in life to be down about, regardless. If you're having an awesome life, there's always stuff in any given day to be down about. So definitely try not to go down that path there. So moving on from that, I'd like to ask you guys a couple questions based on some requests that we've been receiving. And I'll ask that you just take like a minute and basically type in a corresponding number into the chat box each time. So just 2 questions this time, so it'll be very quick. It'll only take a minute or 2, and it'll help us out a bit. So here are the questions. So we've been asked if we do advanced consulting or masterminds more than a few times in the last two weeks or so. And we've done a handful of those with some really awesome results. And I actually just did one, I don't know, about like a month back or so, where again, it was in this case it was like a one day mastermind event, and people in the past have been crediting us with huge increases in business from 6 to 7 figures. So I mean, we obviously know what we're talking about. We've been doing this for a long time. Sean a bit longer than me, just because he's like twice my age basically. But yeah, so we've been in it a long time. But we wanted to see if you'd be interested in any of these options, because we've been asked quite a few times recently. So we only want to take the time to extend that out if we think there's enough interest out there. So we just thought we would survey you guys as a whole. If there's interest, we'll see about doing one. If not, then no worries at all. So make sure you type the relevant number in the chat box if so. So the first question is this: if you're interested in any of these 4, type in 1, 2, 3, or 4 based upon what you see there. So 1 is, if you're interested in a small multi-day mastermind in an exotic location with a good mix of high-end masterminding, networking, and fun, with a price around 5 to 8K. Now, obviously, this would be geared more towards people that either have an existing business of some kind, or those that have like some skills that could be useful. Like if you have an existing business, or let's say you don't have one, but you're like a programmer that has like a decent knowledge of some stuff. There's obviously skills and uses that you could do that could be turned into a lot of money that we could help. If you're brand new and don't know anything at all, that obviously would not be a good fit for you right there. So again, this type 1, if you'd be interested in a small multi-day mastermind in some exotic location where, again, it'd probably be a few days long or so, and it would be a mix of high-end masterminding and learning and networking, seeing if there's like partnerships that can take place there, as well as a mix of fun stuff too, where it would be around in the 5 to 8K price range, but we would include a lot of stuff in that price there on top of the mastermind itself. Type in 2 if instead you'd be more interested in an online mastermind with monthly group calls and access to myself and Sean over email for around 1 to 2K per month. So you get a monthly call with us, or it'd be like a high-end call, and you'd get access to us over email as well right there for, again, 1 to 2K a month. Type in 2 if that's of interest to you more, or type in 3 if you're more interested in a full day with just with just you and either one or both of us working on just your business for around 25 grand. Now this would obviously be only for those that have an existing business and that we feel that we could actually help. It wouldn't be, again, for a person that's completely new. So if that's of more interest, type 3, or if none of them are, just type in 4. So I'll give you guys maybe 10 seconds or so to finish up that there. Okay. All right. So last question. We've had a lot of people asking us for advice on how to sell high-end products and services. These are ones that typically, by high-end I mean like $1,000 plus. Usually a lot more than that. And if it's like a monthly fee, high-end would be about $1,000 a month or so. We've had a lot of guys ask us on that, and we cover some of that stuff, on some calls and stuff here on like, how to increase the value of anything that we sell and stuff. But we've had a lot of people ask for like a lot more intensive stuff. And in the past, we've done a couple like high-end series where we focus on just that, where each week, there's homework and assignments, and you're basically held like accountable, because it's the only way to make sure you do the stuff that you need to do to get the results that we'd want you to get there. So if we put together a 6-week intensive webinar series on just that, on how to sell high-end products and services, which would cover everything from how to come up with ideas that work, how to test to see if it would work, how to find workers or stuff for cheap, or even existing free stuff to get actual products and stuff made either free or cheaply, to how to write an actual pitch that works, how to find and market these kinds of leads, and all that good stuff right there. If you'd be interested in that for a price point of around 5K right there, with essentially a guarantee, where obviously like with all our stuff, if you didn't get results with that, you'd get a refund of that. So if that would be of interest to you, just type in yes for yes or no for no in the chat box. So again, I'll give you maybe 10 seconds to write in that. So yes if you would be interested, or no if not. All right. All right, cool guys. Thanks for your input right there, greatly appreciated. Now let's move on to the training for the day, followed by our Q&A, where you can ask anything you want at all, within reason, of course. just to clarify. All right, so here's what you'll learn today. First, the big reveal of the new tool that we recently added in the last day or so. Second, how to respond to leads. And third, how to kind of, or some tips and stuff on selling web services. And then lastly, our Q&A. And of course, after that, we'll also give some cash out too, like we usually do on these calls too. So pretty fun stuff if you stay around. So first up, our big reveal. We have several tools and features being worked on right now, which will be, again, for free for Webfire members, and we recently just added a new one. Now, I'll make a note to say right here, we just added a new one, but we probably have at least several new features being worked on, and a couple new additional tools as well that aren't live yet, but will be in the very near future. But I'll save it for a future call to actually reveal what those are, because this one by itself would be pretty cool right here. So let me ask you, would you be excited if we told you that our new tool taps into over 500 million active users talking all the time? All right, so lots and lots of yeses, of course. All right, great. And by all time, I mean over 500 million posts a day on average. That's 500 million posts a day on average, talking about all sorts of stuff. For you math geeks, that's 15 billion posts a month. That's a lot of posts. If you haven't figured it out yet, we're talking about Twitter. And our new addition to Webfire is called Tweet Lead Finder. Tweet Lead Finder lets you automatically search for what people are talking about, alert you to new leads, even geo-targeting, which means you can target by location, which is pretty cool. And then you can direct message or reply to them as well, very, very quickly and efficiently. You can use this to help sell your own products or services, to be an affiliate, or through middleman marketing. All that is, again, fun stuff. So here's some examples of stuff that you could do. So you could find people complaining about back pain, okay? And then mention your own site or offer an affiliate product, or send the lead to a local chiropractor. So those are all great ways that you can either market or sell your own product or service, just be an affiliate and mention some useful tips along with a product that might help, or send a lead again to a chiropractor, which would be perfect because again, if you can geo-target those, that's the perfect lead, and they would absolutely love that because one lead could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars in a lot of cases. Another example, someone complains about getting a bleeping speeding ticket. What could you do then? Well, you could mention your blog post or video on how to get that dropped. You could point out an affiliate product that is guaranteed to help drop the ticket, or send the lead to a local lawyer who handles that kind of stuff right there. So those are all easy ideas that you can do with that. Or let's say someone complains about losing their job or not being happy about it. Like maybe they didn't lose their job, but they're just saying, oh man, this sucks. I have to wake up at 6 and yada yada, blah blah blah. Then you could turn around and mention some ways that they could work for themselves, or send them to a post of yours that maybe mentions several ways that they can work for themselves, or several things that they can do on the side, which can lead into your own offers or affiliate offers. And we'll go into a lot more detail about like the best way to do responses or replies in general. So not just not just on this tool, but for like all the lead tools and stuff. We'll talk a lot more about that because I see oftentimes guys don't do the best of jobs in that, so we'll focus a bit on that. And what I'll do now is I'll pause the screen and we'll do a quick demo of it.
Okay, and while you're switching, hi everybody, it's Sean. I get to talk for a minute. Guys, one thing I want to mention is you guys will immediately go, oh goody, we're diving into Twitter. I want to search for anti-aging, cutting-edge anti-aging vegan supplements. Well, most people aren't going to be talking that way on Twitter, right? They're going to be talking about, oh man, I got a new job, or I bought a new house, or I want to buy a new house, or just sold my house, or need to move, or looking for a place to rent, or my, oh my gosh, I just, twisted my back and I can't even stand up straight, or, right? You have to think about how people use words in ordinary conversation in order to get the best results out of this. So, most people won't post up on Twitter, hey, I want to join a business opportunity. Does anybody know what the hottest new MLM is, right? That's not the most common thing you're going to see them post, but they will be talking about what's going on in their lives, conversing, back and forth with people that might be following with friends, followers, whatever, right? So think about how the things that they would post about, like, oh my gosh, a tree fell on my house, or, we had a hailstorm and my roof got damaged, or, the toilet broke, or the water tank is leaking, or, life situations where, that fit whatever it is that your solution is the answer for, okay? Because when you do that, you can tap into these people, and as Brian's going to show you, I don't think he even mentioned this yet, not only can you do this manually, but you can actually set it up so that the auto tweet lead, tweet lead finder will automatically search every day and pull the results for you, so that you don't have to go and do this, and you can geo-target it. So like, I'm in the Atlanta area, I could search just for the people talking about a leaky roof within 50 miles of downtown Atlanta if I wanted to, because that might be my service area, or I can search the globe if I want to. So there's a lot of really powerful applications to this tool. So Brian, I see you're up and, well, actually I don't see you're up and ready to go. Why aren't we seeing your demo here? There we go. Your screen just switched. There you go.
All right. So right here is the tool itself, and you'll find it under the social tools. Just click on social on the drop down, and then tweet lead finder right there. And you'll see this right here. In fact, as a side note, the very first time you use it, it will ask you to authenticate it with your Twitter account, which basically it will just open up a separate tab or window, and it will ask you to verify that you allow access to this tool to, use your Twitter account, which allows you to do like replies and stuff like that if you want to. Of course, if you want to make like a new account or whatever you want, that's perfectly fine right there. After you do that, you only have to do that once, and then it is done. Then it'll go to a screen like this, where you can click leads, keywords, and settings, or direct messages and mentions. So leads will actually show you leads that it finds, but first you have to obviously enter keywords and stuff. So you'd have this screen up first. Direct messages and stuff, we allow you to direct message to people that you want that you follow or follow back and stuff, and if they don't, you can send them a reply instead. So all that is very, very easy, and we'll show you how that works in just a bit. And of course, mentions is if anyone mentions you or anything like that, you can see that right there. So here's a test account of mine, and you'll see here when I click keywords and settings, it asks for a category name. In this case, I just called it chiropractor. And let's say I'm trying to find leads for a chiropractor, okay? Or it could be back pain or anything like that. For here, I can have up to 10 different keywords for any category, and the default is you can have 10 categories. So again, that's 100 different terms that you can search for. So in this case, I'm trying to come up with terms that people might use if they're complaining about their back. So back by itself might not work well, because there might be guys that say, I just got back. But back hurts, back pain, back problems, hurt my back, all that stuff is stuff that I thought of within like 10 seconds. I'm sure if I thought a bit more, I could, come up with a few more. I could write those all right here. Then I just click save, and that'd be done right there. You can also optionally search by location. In this case, I have a global search on, but if you want to search by location, you can actually just check off that and then type in a longitude and latitude, and if you don't know how, you can here, and it will help you find out exactly what yours would be or where the location you want to search for would be. And then you could search within a distance of that. Like if you want to search within 50 miles or kilometers, you can do so. Just basically type in how long you want that to be away and then pick which one there. And of course, you can also get alerts to new leads and stuff right there. And you can also, this is real neat right here, you can filter out tweets with links. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, that's if let's say someone is, let's say that there's like essentially like an ad or someone posts like a link to their own site or anything like that. A lot of times if you filter out links, it eliminates a lot of the people selling. So you focus more on, the people that are asking to buy and stuff. Now, you might eliminate a handful of guys that are just mentioning a site, but it's just a quick way to, it's like another option where if you see there's a lot of like sellers and stuff there, you can click that and eliminate anyone that mentions a link. So in this case, I didn't bother with that this time. And then you'd click Save. And then after that, you just click on Leads. And I previously saved this, so it should all be good right here. So I'll click the leads, and I'll find new fresh leads each day. So right here, we see it is currently Wednesday the 20th, and that's why the date says Wednesday the 20th. And the very first lead we just find is the guy swearing. So how nice about that? He basically hurt his back doing something at work, and he continues to swear on it. So he's probably in some pain and could use some help about now. Here's a person right here saying, about back pain. A person also in back pain left their painkillers at home. Here's a person saying, my back hurts so much with a little sad face. My back hurts so bad I could probably cry. And here's a person with a link. So this is probably a seller. And again, you could weed out these ones right here. I wouldn't wish back pain on my worst enemy. Oh my. So again, lots and lots of leads. And we see, look at all these leads. People complaining about back pain right now. And look on the date of those. Those are all today. So if you're live on this call right now, you can obviously tell this is a live call and not a recording. And if you have more leads, you just click next 100, and you'll continue to get more and more leads. In cases like back pain or, markets like that, there might be, I wouldn't be shocked if there would be like a couple thousand or so leads just in the last day. So obviously tons and tons of leads, and what you can do at this point is a bunch of stuff. So one is you can click to get some info. Well, so let's get Mr. Naughty Pants here because he's swearing. You can click there and it gives you some info on him. So the guy who likes to swear, he's followed by 523 people, and he has 157 friends. So that just gives you like a little background, like how influential they might be, how many friends and followers and stuff they have, and that's a good way to like eliminate like oftentimes like bots and stuff. In this case, a term like this is pretty easy to see that these are all not bots and stuff. But if you're trying to deal with the guys that leave links and stuff, you can eliminate that. So here's one right here where she has tons of friends and a decent amount of followers and stuff. And the score is basically a combination of the friends and followers. So if more people follow them than who they have friends, then the score is basically higher. And that's just a quick way to see like, how, not just how influential that they are, but how like, how likely they are for people to, friend them back and follow them back and stuff. But, usually the amount of people that they, follow them and stuff is a pretty good indicator right there of how influential they might be. Then what you can do is you can click any of these and you can follow them. And oftentimes a lot of people will follow you back, oftentimes like almost instantly. And what you can do then or prior is if you click reply/DM, does one of two things. If they follow you back, you can do what's called a direct message, which goes to them. If they don't follow you, or if you don't follow them or anything, you can still reply to them. It would just be on Twitter. A reply and a direct message are basically different. Direct message, they're like guaranteed to basically see and go straight to them, where a reply, there's still a decent chance that they'll see it, but it's treated a little bit differently right there. So there's more info on like, what exactly all that means and on the walkthrough and stuff. But you get the general idea is either way, you can contact them quickly and easily right here. Now, I don't suggest that you use this to like spam like 1,000 people. in like a day that, won't be worth your while or time, or I should say it'll make you look like a douchebag, because you want to try to offer value, first and foremost. And this is really, really cool, especially if you're dealing with guys that might be worth a lot of money to you. Like if there's someone that, let's say is buying like a new house or in a lot of pain and looking for a solution, you can legitimately reach out and help a lot of these people. I mean, like all these people right here saying, like, I wouldn't wish this pain upon my worst enemy. If you have a solution that can help them, I mean, my God, reach out and help them. And if you can make some money at the same time, great. But first and foremost, you want to focus on helping, these kinds of leads first, and then the money will always follow from there. This is a great way to tap into, I mean, literally, guys, I didn't click next, over and over and over and over again, but you saw right here, 100 leads. If I click next, I'm guessing there's probably easily at least 1,000, maybe 2,000 leads right there, and it's just in the last day. That's a lot of leads. I bet, you've probably never seen this many, relevant leads to any niche that you're in. And you can do this for anything you want. I mean, you could also search for guys that, that recently lost a job, or guys that are looking to make more money online, or guys that are looking to rank better. And the only thing I do in cases like that are I would make sure that back here, look at that. I just refreshed. So I clicked once more to refresh, and I've been talking for maybe like 5 minutes, and you see a whole bunch of new leads just in the last 5 minutes right there. So Mr. Swearpants probably moved down a bunch here. Yeah, so look at that. I mean, there's probably like a dozen or so new leads just in the last 5 or so minutes. So obviously, huge market right here. If you go to the keywords and settings, what I was saying, like if you're trying to look for leads and like to make money online, or lost a job or stuff like that, in a market like that, I would probably click this to filter out tweets that have links, because that will eliminate a lot of like the spam bots and a lot of like sellers, because in a handful of niches and markets, there tend to be more of those than in others. So in markets where people are complaining about back pain, I mean, out of the first 30 or so leads that I glanced at, I only saw 1 or 2 links, so I wouldn't really even bother with that. But for a term like make money online, there might be a lot more links. So if you just click that, you would eliminate all those right there. So pretty cool tool right there, and this can search for new leads each and every day. And on that note too, so right now, it can email you each day. It can, every day you can log in. Right now, this was just released here, like in the last day. Very soon, probably within the next day or so, or if not, very soon, we'll also integrate this with the timeline, which is down here. So on the timeline, it will show updates and stuff there for you for that as well. But for right now, it's just here. But again, because it's brand new, but we thought we'd give you guys early access. So if you think this is a cool tool, write cool. And if you think it's not, write it's not. All right.
And the people that write it's not, we charge extra too, right?
All right, so far I have not seen it. It's not yet, so that's awesome. And again, guys, this is free for all of the Webfire users, so this is not a paid upgrade or anything like that. You all have immediate access to this. You can log in and see it right there. Unless, of course, if you want to pay me, that's perfectly fine. That's all good too. All right.
Okay, Brian, 2 quick things you need to answer.
All right.
One is shoot, I forgot the one. I've been trying to read all the questions and get them, and I'll scroll back and see in a second. But geo-targeting. So guys, did you show the geo-targeting feature?
Oh, I thought for a second you said Jew. I was like, what?
No. No, geo, as in geographical, as in country, city, state. Because you can target this to any point on the globe. Literally, you can pick a point on the map and go, I want all the people within our X radius of this point.
Yeah, in fact, we actually talked about that at the very start, but just to recap that again, that's just right down here. You click search by location, and you would do the longitude and latitude right there, and you can click here to get the exact longitude and latitude of any place on a map there. So that's all very, very easy. And then you specify a range of, like, if you want it within like 50 miles or 10 miles or kilometers for those that are outside the states. Yeah, so that's that. And what was the second question, Sean?
Well, the third question is, because I got to go find the second one, is can they connect more than one Twitter account to this?
So right here with this early access right here, this is meant for just one, but we'll come out with the one where you can add more than one.
Yeah, because it requires a lot of I know it sounds simple to you guys, but it sounds like a program. Now you could connect one, run it, disconnect that account and connect another one, but so we can do that. Oh, I know the other question. The other question was, do you have to follow somebody in order to message them?
I actually answered that, and it's no and yes at the same time. So there's two ways to message. There's a direct message and a reply. A direct message you'd have to follow, and it goes like straight to them. A reply you don't have to. So on a reply, they might be slightly less likely to see it, although there's still a good chance that they'd see it. So there is an advantage on a direct message, but it still works even with just a reply where you don't have to follow or anything like that.
Yeah, let me address I'm getting a lot of questions still on geotarget. Can I do it by city? Can I do it by zip code? If it still works the same, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong. It actually works on latitude and longitude, right?
Yep. So
let me explain this in English because I'm a lawyer. All right. The entire globe has all these little dots on it, which are exact latitude and longitudes. We're going to show you how to go find the area you want, but you literally can pinpoint literally any point on the globe and tell that's where you want to search it from. So what that's doing is, you guys want to geotarget like you want all the people in Atlanta that say something. The problem is those people aren't identified as being from Atlanta. Okay. Instead, Twitter tracks them geographically on the globe, and so we tap into the way in which they're tracked so that we know the user that's posting on Twitter is from a certain mileage distance from whatever point you set. Like in this case, let me say I set it on downtown Atlanta because I want to get all 6 million people in the Atlanta area. Okay. So it's really easy to do. I know that sounds complicated, but it's actually really easy to do, and you only got to do it once for the area you want to search. So it's not like you've got to go find all these points, but it lets you literally get as precisely geo-targeted as you could possibly want.
Yep, and
that was the short answer.
Yep, and also I saw a question on the number of searches. So right now we allow you to do 10 categories. Like in this case, this is just one. And in the categories, you can each have 10 keywords. So if you do the quick math, 10 times 10, that would be 100 keywords that you can search for each and every day. Now, having said that, if you want to do more, you can quickly and easily erase one and do a brand new one like that. I mean, it takes like a second to change. So that's all very, very, very easy. And as Sean said towards the start, you want to use like terms that everyday people would basically use, like, for back pain, all of these are good terms, like back hurts, back pain, back problems, hurt my back, anything like that is like the everyday language that guys would use. Whereas like it wouldn't be like, looking to buy back pain meds. I mean, you might get a couple leads like that, but it'd be more rare that a guy would say exactly just that. Or like, you probably wouldn't have a guy say, looking for, a herbal supplement to help my back. You wouldn't get a guy that types in that exact phrase, but you would get a lot of guys in back pain, or guys that were asking for, alternative medicine, or if there's any, any opinions on that. So there's a lot of guys that will oftentimes ask questions and will want you to write back, and they're reaching out. So this is a great way to, see what's bothering people right now and try to basically help them. So, and again, we're talking about oftentimes, in a lot of cases like this, thousands of leads a day, guys. That's a lot of leads. And this is the kind of tool where originally, Sean and I, and we're not lying or anything. Originally we're like, okay, this is such a cool tool. We were actually talking about selling this for about $97 a month because there's places that would kill for this many leads they could interact with. But then we're like, well, we think that'd be really cool to have inside a Webfire, really awesome to show off. So we were in a good mood and we're like, hey, let's just integrate that in Webfire and call it part of that right there and give it to you guys for free. So we probably will have like a paid version outside of it, if you're a member of Webfire, that's all free right there, so you don't have to worry about that. So that's all good right there. So and we'll answer some other questions towards the end of this call. Sean will still type in answers, but I'll move on to the rest of the call itself because we still have some stuff to teach and stuff. So I'm just going to go back for a second. All right. All right. So hopefully you guys like that there. So next up, we're going to talk about how to reply to leads on any of our lead tools. Now this applies to anything, but I thought it'd be like an awesome topic to bring up right here because we just showed you a brand new lead tool. So one of the big mistakes we see are people replying to leads in a spammy way that won't get them the results that they want. The key in creating business deals, good relationships, obtaining happy clients, and making sales is to provide value first and foremost. So again, help them first. It's not just about you, it's about helping these leads getting what they want and what can honestly help them the most. Most people I see answering questions don't really provide any value at all, and instead they save maybe 20 seconds or so by just spamming a link and not much else. And then they wonder why people don't like them. Or they wonder why others turn them down from affiliate, JV, or business deals so often, or why people don't buy their stuff. If you're trying to make a sale, don't just be about the sale. Try to answer their question first, provide value, and then gently guide them in the right direction you want them to go. Here's what most people do. So here's a bad example not to follow, followed by a good example. And I'll give a couple of these. So let's say someone posts up on their site or someone posts up at some site, whether it be like a lead you find on the real-time lead finder or the rank lead finder or the tweet lead finder or the Q&A lead finder. Someone posts up saying that their site won't rank at all. So they have basically an SEO and ranking issue. A bad response, which we see a lot of people do, is one like this. They'll say, you'll definitely want to get this course. And they'll say, some random SEOservice.com, which is theirs or like an affiliate's, as you can easily rank super fast. Now, that's not as spammy as just posting up a link, but still, people can see through your intentions. You're not really giving any value, and you're not really helping them. You're basically saying, oh, you can buy here if you want to. Now, if it was like a free course or anything like that, you could probably get away with that a little bit. But if it's, if you're charging right there, it comes off as still kind of spammy. But a better response, which gets like, takes basically the same amount of time, but gets better, results would be, hey, it looks like you're not really targeting the keyword you're trying to rank for on your site or in your title tags, which is why you're probably not ranking all that well. I use a couple tools to help me do all that stuff, which you can read about here. And then you give, the link where you have your review or you talk about it right there. It comes off as, very non-spammy. You're helping them, give them actual they can use. Or if you're selling a service, you can change the last line on that to say something along this line. I do so on, at just the last line of that good response, instead of talking about, the tools, you could add this line instead. You say, I do SEO work for a living, and I'd be happy to give you some additional tips and see if we can quickly help you. Just email me at, and then give your email, or check us out here. But again, only say that last part if you first say, why they might not be ranking. Like, hey, it looks like you're not really, trying to target the keyword on your site or in your title or stuff. So you give them some useful info that they can have right off the bat. That makes them happy because, again, you provided them value, gave them tips that they can use even if they don't buy anything, which makes them far less likely to be upset with you or view you as spam, and they're more likely to trust you and think, hey, you really do care about me, not just about, the money. And that's the key to actually getting clients. You have to actually care a bit about them and actually help them. So here's another example. Let's say someone posts about how they just lost their job, whether it be on any of those lead tools, they post somewhere out there that they just lost their job. Here's a bad response, which I see this all the time. Well, I've even seen ones far, far worse than this. There's guys that say, you can earn 10K or more a month through this program here, some random MLM.com, check it out. And that's like all that they say, or they say, no worries, you can earn like 100 grand, within a day, just check out this right here. And it comes off as very, very spammy. You're not really helping the guy out, and it's like, he's like, crap, I just lost a job, and here's a guy trying to sell me on some other stuff. You leave a bad taste in their mouth. It doesn't really get you the results that you want. You won't really get clients that way. Is it possible? Yeah, you might get the oddball guy every now and then, but it's not all that likely. Instead, you could have a good response like this. That sucks, but I bet there's a ton of places that you could send your resume to, and in the meantime, you can always start up a little side business yourself. I did that I did that when that same thing happened to me, and it ended up making me a lot more down the road. Never imagined that. I actually wrote a bit about it all on my blog here if you're interested, and then you give your blog right there. So in that case, on that blog post, you can talk specifically about, what you did there, or what happened if you lost a job, or how you turned it around, or about what you do now, or it could be an article on 10 things that people can do on the side right now to make money, or anything like that. You can have your own offers there, affiliate offers. Just make sure, again, to provide value first and foremost. So now that we talked about how to respond to leads a bit more, hopefully you guys understand that. If you have any questions on it, again, you can feel free to clarify and ask, and we'll cover that in the Q&A. But now let's move on to selling some services and some info with that. So selling web services. Using Webfire, there are several web services that you can sell even without doing much work at all. Now here's just a list of some web services that you can sell. We briefly covered this on one of the prior trainings on just like what you could sell, but I'll go into a lot more detail on how. So first of all, you can do SEO and ranking services using Webfire. You can do paid or free SEO reports, and then you can fix their SEO issues or charge them monthly ongoing SEO fees. You can do social media management, which can cover Facebook as well as Twitter management, which again, we have tools that help do just that, like the social poster. You can do PR services, which can include stuff like finding guest blogging opportunities, which again, we have a guest blog finding tool that you can do for them and submit for them. You can also reach out to top influencers on their behalf. In fact, just the other day, I was actually talking to an old friend that used to do some work for me. He handled like a bunch of our outsourced SEO work and stuff like that, and he runs a decent business himself and did like a lot of stuff for me on the side too. And he does a lot of stuff like that where it's just, I mean, he'll charge anywhere from like $500 to $1,000 plus a month, and it's just doing the simple stuff here that again Webfire can easily do for a lot of these guys. I mean, even finding guest blogging opportunities is one of the services out there that last I checked, I think he charged about $800 a month to basically do what Webfire can easily do in a matter of minutes right there. So very cool stuff, and lots of opportunity out there. Some other things that you can do is sell content or video services. This can include creating content or videos and distributing said content or videos as well, which again Webfire can help you do all that. You can also do competition analysis is. And that's where you basically analyze the competition sites. You analyze where they get their traffic, or where they could possibly get their ads and stuff from. Again, all of those tools inside of Webfire, like the competition tools and all that stuff right there, the site analysis tool, all that stuff right there can help easily do all that. And again, in our prior trainings, we cover a lot about that stuff right there. And of course, you can also sell lead finding or traffic services as well. A few of the things that you could do in this area could be find hot leads and alert them to the actual client, or for even more, you could post to them on behalf of the client, which is more hands-free, and you can charge a more premium price for. You can also help combine several services to drive traffic and stuff for them too. Regardless of what you pick, the key is to provide value and talk about the benefits and end results, and not the actual work involved. And this is a mindset thing, because I've seen a lot of guys that they approach it like saying, hey, I will get you 5 backlinks, or hey, I will change the title tags on your site, or hey, I will do, and they'll specifically name the exact tasks that they do, which makes them sound like it's not worth all that much, because no one cares about 5 backlinks. They care about the exposure that they get. They care about the possible partnerships or traffic that they get, or the rankings that they get. So make sure that when you try to sell these guys, that you focus on the value and the benefits rather than just the actual work being done. If you're a plumber and there's a leak in a house and it's leaking water right now, causing tens of thousands of dollars in damage, okay? You don't want to say, hey, for $1,000, I will drive there and I will, tighten this pipe, and that's it. Okay? You don't sound like a lot of value at that point, whereas instead you say, hey, I can drive there and I can immediately fix the issue right now. I can stop the water and make sure it does not leak, which can save you, again, tens of thousands of dollars in damage. That sounds like a lot of value and easily worth $1,000 at that point, whereas the prior one sounds like, oh, he just takes a minute or two of his time. That's not worth much. You also want to try to make it as done for you, or DFY, as you possibly can. As the more done for you make it, the more you can charge. Here's an example. So this is the difference between writing an article and okay, so let's say you start with a service where you write, let's say, an article. Now, if you write it yourself, or if you outsource it, it might only cost you like $3 to $5 to outsource, and you can charge anywhere from like $5 to $10 for a plain article. In most cases, there's cases where you can charge more, but for the sake of this, you can get some cheap articles, made, and guys basically know that, because they don't place a lot of value on just essentially an article. So in that case, let's say you outsource it for $3 and sell it for $5. You make it $2 profit. Granted, it's not really a ton of work that you have to do, but it's not really, a ton of time or anything either. But you don't really make a ton. Whereas you could tweak that up a notch and say, hey, you'll write an article, but you'll optimize it too for SEO. So you'll have it have the keywords that they're trying to rank for and stuff in it. In that case, the perceived value instead of $5 might be $10. But guess what? Having the keyword in the actual article or the title doesn't add any extra work. In fact, you're probably doing that anyway. So in this case, instead of charging $5, you're charging 10, and you just increased your profit from $2 to $7. So you more than tripled your profit without really changing anything. But even better, you could not only write and optimize an article, you could distribute it for them, and also turn it into a video. Again, we have tools inside of Webfire to help you distribute content and turn it into a video as well. In fact, one of the new tools, which we'll talk more about next time, we have a new content submitter as well, which is a newer tool that we'll talk some on next time. But again, you can do all that stuff quickly and easily, but the value of that to distribute the content for them and turn it into a video, instead of charging $5 and then $10, you could charge $50, and that would seem like a steal of a deal, or possibly even $100, and that'd be a steal of a deal right there. But the actual work would be maybe a couple minutes longer. So instead of maybe an outsourced cost of $3, you have an outsourced cost of like $4 or $5. But your profit goes from like $2 to like $45 plus. And your actual time, if you write the stuff yourself, you basically add again 2 or 3 minutes of time or work on that right there. But you don't have to stop there. You could create a new site with the existing content. You could turn it into videos, put the videos up, and not only put the content and the videos up on the site, but distribute both of those across the Web 2 and optimize all of them, the articles, the videos, and the site itself. Now, I've shown you in the past how you can make a site in a couple minutes time, like 2 or 3 minutes time. So you can literally copy and paste the stuff in. So all that work might take you like 5 minutes more, maybe 10 on the extreme end. But instead of charging $5, in this case, you could charge $500 plus. In some cases, even $1,000 plus, and it'd be like a steal of a deal. So without really increasing, the amount of work much, or the outsource cost if you outsource it. I mean, we went from a cost of like $3 to a cost of like maybe 5 to 10 tops, but the price went from like $5 to $500 without really doing a heck of a lot there. And work-wise and raw cost-wise, there's not much of a difference there at all. But profit-wise, you go from $3 to, in some cases, over $1,000 without really doing a heck of a lot more work there. So always keep that in mind when you're selling services. I think a lot of you undervalue everything that you do. I've seen those of you that sell stuff, and it's, I wouldn't say it's sad or anything, but it's sad to a point. I mean, I've seen guys that will basically offer like tons and tons and tons and tons of their time for really cheap prices, and it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot because you're undervaluing yourself. You're not selling the benefits as much as you could. You're not making it as done for them as possible, but you're still doing a ton of work for crap pay basically. But with a few easy tweaks, they can turn around and sell at a much higher price and get more sales too. Because the ironic part in all that is, people oftentimes would rather buy the more done for you stuff, even though it costs a lot more. It's the same reason why when you go to a restaurant, you might buy a steak for like $40 at like a nice place that you could go down to like a local grocer and buy a steak for like a few bucks or so. Granted, you'd have to cook the steak yourself, you'd have to clean up after yourself and all that stuff, but it's virtually the exact same steak basically. But the cool part in this case is you don't even have to do nearly as much work as you would to cook a steak. It's a lot less work, but you're still charging way more. So just wanted to make sure to cover that all there. Now, if you need workers for anything at all, now granted, a lot of the stuff you can do just yourself using the tools inside of Webfire without additional workers or anything like that. But if you want to offer extra stuff like writing or design or stuff that you don't want to do or can't do, you can find tons of workers on sites like Craigslist, which is one of my favorite ones for that stuff. You can search under computer-services under resumes, or by posting on computer-gigs. If you do a post under gigs, under the computer section of any job, you'll get like tons and tons and tons of takers. If you're looking for writers, there's a writing section instead of computers there. But under services, there's lots of people that list their service and stuff there too. So tons of guys there. Fiverr, Fiverr.com, has tons and tons of guys looking to do all sorts of stuff for $5, ranging from like writing to basic SEO stuff to basic tech stuff to design, all that good stuff right here. The warriorforum.com is another good place. They have 2 sections there that are good to find guys on. They have one called the classified section where guys post stuff up that they do, and they also have a Warriors for Hire section, which are guys that post up stuff that they're looking to get hired on. They'll tell you if they're a graphic guy, a writer, an SEO guy, a programmer, all sorts of stuff that you can find there. And of course, you can search any number of freelance type sites too and find guys looking to do all sorts of stuff. So it's very easy to outsource very cheaply. So next, I'll move on to 3 tricks to selling web services. So trick number 1 here is what I call the personalized video technique. So this is where you can target an entire local group like dentists in Atlanta, do a recording where, again, the favorite way I like to record my own screen is using Camtasia, which I think I bought mine. They have a Mac and a Windows version. I know the prices are different, but I think I paid like $97 for mine. But there's a free one called Cam Studio, which you can use. I don't like it as much, but again, it's free, so you have an option there, where you basically record yourself doing a Google search for a term like dentist Atlanta or dentist Atlanta, Georgia, or some term like that. And then you show off on your screen a couple of the sites that rank high and several of the sites that might be ranked on page 2 or 3. And what you do then is you mention a few reasons why some rank and some don't. So you can go to the sites that rank high and say, you see in this case right here, these guys, they have their cheap keywords in their title, they mention it right here, you see this and this, whereas these other guys here, you see, they're not mentioned anywhere here, and yada yada yada, and here's why. And typically it comes down to stuff like they either do or don't target the keyword in their title tag or in their content, and easy stuff like that. And then mention how they can fix that. So you can say, hey, you can change your title tag, you can mention the keyword on the content. There's all these little things that you can do to quickly and easily help fix that. Then say that alone will give them an awesome start. If they don't have time or want even more of a chance of ranking high, to reach out to you. So in this case, you're not saying, hey, to find out how to rank, reach out to me. You're telling them the basics of how they can get a good start where they don't have to hire you for anything, but you stand out from the crowd because not only did you make a video, like a personalized one, now it's not personalized specifically for just them. It's personalized for, like, let's say, all the dentists in Atlanta, Georgia, where you make one video that you send to all those guys. And like next week, it could be the chiropractors or any other city or or anything you want. All very, very easy. But it's much more personalized, and you go the extra mile and you told them how to fix it. They're much more likely to actually you and think that you know what you're actually talking about. And then, of course, you tell them to either reach out to you if they want help or anything like that. And if you offer a freebie, that can really help as well. And I'll talk about several freebie examples in just a bit. Then, again, you want to send a personalized email to all the dentists that aren't ranked at the very top of Google, especially trying to target those that might be paying for AdWords but who aren't ranked themselves. So the cool part with this is if they're paying for AdWords and they aren't ranked themselves, it's an easy pitch. It's, hey, do you know how much you're paying per click right now on AdWords? Most of them will say, oh, probably like $1 or $2 or so. And if they don't know, you say, well, the average for most stuff like that, usually is, at least $1 or $2, a click. In some cases, more. So they understand that there's a big cost that they're basically getting. It's like, hey, what if I told you that could help you get ranked, so you wouldn't have to continue paying for those clicks there? What would that be worth to you? Or do you know how much you pay each month in AdWords? And if there's guys that say, oh yeah, I spend like $500 a month, yada yada. And if you say, hey, if I could help get you ranked there, where not only would you get more exposure, but you wouldn't have to pay for all that. What would that be worth? To you. It's an easy sell at that point because they already have their money out. They're already paying for ads. They understand the power of online and all the stuff right there. Number 2 is offer something that others charge for free. So don't just do like a free report or analysis or anything like that. That can work, if done right, especially if you give them say, hey, these are the issues with your site, but here's how you can fix it. That can work, but you can go above and beyond that too. So this sounds simple, but a lot of people mess this one up. So they oftentimes just give just like a free ebook or report or just a free analysis with like nothing else. But oftentimes, the free report and analysis and all that, those are done by a lot of people and are often expected to be free. So you don't really stand out if you give that for free necessarily. If you offer something of value for free, it can be a great way to get your foot in the door. So here are a few things of value that you can offer for free that they probably have never been offered before. So first, you can offer to fix their title tags for them for free, and then upsell them into more SEO options or more web services. So again, it takes a little time, but very, very quickly and easily, especially with Webfire. 2, you can make them a free, simple video where you can do it yourself or hire someone from Fiverr.com for $5 just for checking out your offerings. Now, it's possible that they take you up on this, and never buy from you again. But what what seems to be the case, the majority of the time, people feel guilty if they take you up on essentially an offer that takes up your time and then don't do squat. Yeah, you might get some of those, but if your average sale price is, let's say, $500 a month, and let's say you spend $5 on 10 guys, and over half those guys never take you up on the offer, big deal. What do you do? If even 9 out of 10 of those guys never take you up on the offer, you still come out way, way ahead for a simple gesture, basically. And it gets a lot more attention, and it can get you sales that you normally wouldn't get. Second way is you can make them a free logo or a video logo, which oftentimes guys will find really, really cool. You can get those, again, all at Fiverr.com. And you can offer that just for them writing you back and considering your offer. So it's like, hey, if you write back, I'll make you this for free just as a gesture in exchange for you checking out what we could possibly help you with right there. 4, you could give them their first few leads for free just so they can see the quality of your lead service, for instance. So if you have like a service where you want to resell the leads or set up a lead search inside a Webfire and then pass on those leads to them, you can give them the first few leads for free so they can check out the quality. Like, for instance, the chiropractor one. If they're in Atlanta, Georgia, you could say, hey, I'll alert you to the first, few leads here so you can see the quality of them and, yada, yada, yada. And then after that, the fee would be this much, right here. So guys say, okay, well, it's free. Of course I'll check out and see what these look like. And if they're happy, if even half those guys stay, that's easy money without really a lot of work there, and it gets their foot in the door. Number 5, and this is one that takes a bit more work, but you can get a lot of long-term guys too. You can actually give them their first month of SEO work for free, but say you're only doing this as an act of good faith, and that if you get them some results to start with in that month, they'll agree to continue using you and paying to get more results the next month. So you don't just say, I'll give you a free month. They say, I'll give you a free month, but you have to agree that if I get you results, that you'll continue using me into month 2. So that way, if you get them the results and they change their mind and say no, they feel like jerks. And, occasionally there might be a guy that doesn't care, but it doesn't really matter because it's, it's the law of averages and, a law of numbers. If there's 5 guys that, you basically do this to, chances are 4 or 5 of the 5, wouldn't have given you the chance to start with if it wasn't for that free month. And if one of them drops out after you get results and says, oh, nope, I changed my mind, you're out a little bit of work, but the other, 3 or 4 clients are staying and making you a lot more. And this is stuff where oftentimes, easy stuff like just changing around the title tag, adding a keyword or 2 on a page, that stuff alone can get them results right off the bat a lot of times. And that's stuff that, again, takes you minutes to basically do. And you can say, like, that's the work that you did that first month. They don't have to know the exact work that you do. They just want to see the results that you can get off of that. Number 6, you can make them a mobile-friendly site and then talk about how they're losing mobile traffic on top of having poor rankings. And again, you can use Fiverr.com if you want to make those mobile sites. You can even pre-make several mobile sites for your clients as well. So, I mean, if you know that you want to contact 5 clients ahead of time, you can make them a mobile site on Fiverr. Now, granted, yeah, it might cost you $5 per site there. There's also, like, tools to help make mobile sites and stuff like that. But I mean, Fiverr's cheap option right there. You know, if just one of them writes back and takes you up on like an offer there, that's a lot of like, you know, free, easy money just for basically giving something away for free. It's the exact same concept. I think they're banned at airports now, but years back there used to be like monks that would hand you like a free rose basically, and you know, you wouldn't have to give them a donation, but a lot of people would anyway because they'd feel guilty. It's like, oh hey, I got this free thing, here's some money. Now the money in the end would be worth far more than the rose, and that's kind of what the idea is here. So you know, you give them something of value for free, like you say, hey, you know, you're losing out on tons of mobile traffic, and here's why it's important for you, you know, as a local business, yada, yada, yada. Oh, and by the way, your SEO isn't all that great too, but hey, here's a free mobile site I made for you, and if you want to talk about the SEO, I'll give you this mobile site for free just for, you know, emailing me back or talking with me or anything like that right there. So the key is to stand out from the crowd and get your foot in the door at the same time. Now, the last trick right here is if you can't beat them, join them. And this is a killer trick with selling web services and such, where one deal can result in tons of ongoing deals. Instead of selling straight to consumers or businesses, target other SEO or web services and ask if they'd be interested in either outsourcing some work to you or selling a related but not competing service that you offer as their own. For instance, an SEO service provider might not have a PR service. And you could use tools like the Guest Blog Finder to contact dozens and dozens of places where they could potentially get guest blog posts done. Now that could be worth a fortune to the right places. I mean, there's services that literally charge thousands of dollars just for that simple thing that you can do within a couple minutes inside of Webfire. Or you could do the same for lead services, videos, finding or contacting potential partners, JVs, affiliates, all of which, again, you can use using several of the tools inside of Webfire, like the competition tool, the lead tools, all that good stuff right there. Even if they're not interested in outsourcing their normal work to you, which again you can do with Webfire in a lot of cases, lots can be interested in selling more to their current clients to make even more with your additional services that they either don't know how to offer or don't have the time or tools to do so, which you have the tools to do so. The key here is to come up with services that focus on the value and not just the work done. For instance, instead of just saying you'll get a guest blog post or two, say you'll reach out to dozens to hundreds of potential sites as part of your PR service and get only targeted PR opportunities for them to get free exposure. Or that you'll research and identify where their competition is getting their traffic from and reach out to all those places to ask about potential deals, ads, partnerships, and so forth for them, where one deal could literally be worth a fortune here. So the value to them increases a great deal. So again, with that, guys, if there's any guy that you normally view as like a competitor, see what extra service and stuff you could basically offer them outside of just their SEO or whatever they do, and reach out to them and see if they'd be interested in possibly selling the side services as their own right there. And a lot of these guys will jump at that because it's not competing with them and it's making them more money at the same time. So keep that in mind right there because that can work very well. So with that, we'll jump to the Q&A and then we'll do the cash giveaway immediately after. So if you have a question, make sure to type that in right there. And I know each time on each call that we do, these are meant for Webfire members, but occasionally there's some non-members that sneak in here. Occasionally people share the links and calls and all that, and I see there's a handful of guys asking on Webfire and stuff like that. So just to make sure we cover all that, if you don't have Webfire, even though I'm guessing like probably 98% of you do, you can grab it right here. It's just getwebfire.com. getwebfire.com/today. Again, just getwebfire.com/today. And you can check out that right there. But for the rest of you on this call, on the training call, feel free to type in any questions, and Sean and I will start to answer them. And after we do a handful, we'll do the cash giveaway to a random person. So Sean, if you've seen any questions or anything, feel free to ask those away. I know you've been answering a lot of them as I've been talking.
And they're typing too fast now because you said type questions, and now they're typing more. Okay, so simple question. Whoops. David, there are hundreds of people on this call today. Dale wants to know if we can get a CSV export feature or sortable feature for the tools that don't have that.
Yeah, in fact, that's what. So for the handful of tools where, so what they're basically asking for those of you that don't know what that means, there's some tools where we allow you to export stuff like keywords and stuff like that, and they're actually working on an update where you can like export more leads and keep keywords and stuff like that. So that's actually being worked on right now. It should be out fairly soon. There's actually a decent list of some pretty cool features and stuff like that, which will be rolling out very soon.
Good, and I'm going to answer a couple questions. If you can scroll up a little bit, Gary had a long question which probably has a short answer you can answer.
Sure.
And that'll be easier than trying to confuse anybody with that question. Okay, Rolando says, can you use Webfire for CPA marketing? Can you give an example? Yes, so CPA is, presumably, Rolando, you're not talking about certified public accountants, you're talking about CPA networks. So CPA networks are like big affiliate networks, and you can get offers off them where you can get paid for anything, for making a sale, for generating a lead. So, and a lead might be somebody who's interested in a mortgage, interested in insurance, auto insurance, life insurance, health insurance, a lot of different things that you can do. People interested in education. So with all that said, yes, you can use Webfire to promote anything. So even if you don't have a website, you could actually promote your offers. I mean, one of the ways you could do it quite simply is, whether you're using Tweet Lead Finder, Real-Time Lead Finder, Rank Lead Finder, is find all the people that are interested in whatever you want to promote. Let's say you want to promote an auto insurance offer, right? Well, you'll see people talking about, hey, I got a new car, they need insurance. You can see people saying that their insurance rates are too high, they'll be looking for a quote, right? So, just think about how people are talking about that stuff, and you could immediately go right out and generate leads that way. You, of course, also can use our other training and the keyword tool research to find the best keywords to rank for and go get blog posts ranked for those with good information and bring the people into your lead sources that way as well. Okay. Whoops. Daryl, yes, that's correct. All right, Sharon, can you answer Loy's question and see if you can help him? You guys are really fast. Whoops, hang on. Sorry, I was reading questions and they're scrolling off my screen faster than I can read. All right, Aaron says, what's the purpose for guest blogging? Okay, so guest blogging is, first of all, where there's a lot of bloggers who don't post all the time or don't even want to post, but they're always looking for quality content. And the reason for guest blogging is because you can post, and basically an article, a post on their site, just a short one-page post on a specific topic that you want to generate traffic and incoming links for, and you can give them that post, and when you do, you can link to your site in two ways. One is in the body of the post, and the second is at the bottom you would have your short bio. Sean Casey is a bad golfer and a good marketer, and you can get his free report on how to be a bad golfer at SeanCaseyIsABadGolfer.com, right? So we can generate inbound links. You can also post your video in there. So you want to do that to get exposure to a new audience, to get incoming links, to have another way to get ranked and get free traffic in the search engines. And for local marketing, where you can generate leads from other sites that are in the similar geographic area and in particular related business, Like if you're a wedding photographer, getting an inbound link from a wedding photographer website, right, would make sense, or a wedding photographer from a wedding planner website. That would make a lot of sense, right? So that's going to help you rank, whether you're trying to rank globally or locally. Brigitte wants to know, how long does it take running using Webfire? Well, that's a good question. So you have the right answer, which is watch the training videos and apply them. The short answer is you can get up and running quickly. It's just a question of what you're actually trying to accomplish and where you are already in business. So if you already know what you want to sell, then when you're going through the training, you'll be seeing specific tools and ideas and strategies where you'll be looking at them and saying, oh man, you know, I can use this to immediately do X for my business. It's going to take you a little bit longer if you're not sure what you want to promote, because we have a lot of people that join us that are really relatively new to online marketing, and they know it's really cool and that people can make a lot of money, and they're not sure what to promote. So it takes a little bit longer for those people to get going because they've got to focus in on more of what they want to be able to do. Okay, so Eric wants to know if this is available as recording. Yes, it is. We'll have this replay posted up by tomorrow morning, our time anyway, and we'll post that up along with the PowerPoint slides. Philippe wants to know if Webfire will automate the selling of leads for you. No, it won't do that. It's good, but it's not that good. We can't do that, but you can sell them any way you want to in terms of the leads that you're generating, but you would want to control the flow of those to a client. You know, deliver them, you know, you could deliver them by email once you've got the contact information or their permission, however you're generating the lead and how much you're pre-qualifying a lead. You can have them where they're filling out a form on your site and you're getting an email notification. It kind of depends upon how you want to set up that part of the business. But we don't do that or handle that or touch those at all. Right, Wine, and yes. So we're 2 p.m. Eastern time, which right now is GMT -4, because daylight saving kicked in like a month ago and screws everyone up. All right, so somebody wants to know if we can submit an affiliate link for ranking. No, you can't rank an affiliate link because it's not your website. All right, so just, you know, your affiliate link is not going to rank, or, you know, there'd be 10,000 affiliate links all trying to figure out, you know, who in Google should be #1, which is why for ranking you want to create your own site, which we do show you how to do. It's very quick and easy to do. You can use a free service like blogger.com, which is owned by Google, to create a site that you can get ranked and be able to do that and use that. Okay, Ranked Lead Finder is a tool that allows you to find all of the sites that are ranked on the front page on the top 10 of Google, Yahoo, and Bing for any set of keywords. So you type in, for example, weight loss, and it would pull a list of 50 keywords, search them in Google, Yahoo, and Bing, and give you sites that are ranked in the top 10, but only the ones that you can post up a comment or reply on. So all the forums, all the blogs, all the Q&A sites. So that's what that one does. All right. Brian, if you can look at Harmesh's question, because I have no idea what the answer is to that. Yes, Gary. So yes, so if you are, okay, yeah. So Gary has a follow-up question there, Brian, on the Durham wedding caterer thing that he's doing that. Michael says, I can't wait to use this to help my mortgage and real estate friends boost their business. No, they'd be more than happy to pay for that. Most already do. I just need to beat the other guy's price, and I know the business is mine. Well, Michael, first of all, you're right. These guys are already paying, and this is the true fact. So some of you are like, why would people buy leads? Well, they buy leads because they don't know how to get leads on their own, okay, or they want more leads than what they can get on their own. I mean, you guys, like for real estate, mortgage, insurance, these guys buy leads all day long. That's why there are CPA networks that generate leads, because there's somebody on the other end that's buying the leads, right? Okay, and most real estate agents, hey, they took a test, and they passed, and they know something about listing and selling your house, but they don't know anything about marketing. Okay, so they need help. They need leads. Mortgage guys need leads. If your average mortgage customer is worth, let's say, I have no idea how much today, $2,000 to your business. I mean, what would you pay for a lead? Would you pay $100 to get a guy worth $2,000 to you? I would stand in line with $100 bills just ready to hand them out to you to do that if I was in the mortgage business, right? Okay, but you don't have to necessarily beat them on price, although if it's the exact same service, but, if you've got better leads, if you've got leads that nobody else has, for example, when you think about the Twitter leads, right, those are people that no one else necessarily even knows are looking for whatever it is they want, right? When a guy puts up, mama's having a new baby, we need a bigger house, that guy hasn't even gone to Google yet to go searching to find a real estate agent to go buy a house or to list his existing house, right? I mean, he's just excited because he's going to be a new papa, right? But you're standing there going, hey, listen, hey, let me know if we can help you out with anything. So, congratulations on the excellent news that you're having a new baby, right? But you're so far ahead, and those leads are so valuable, right? Because there's no competition at that point. You can be charging more money because it's really always a question of how much your leads make the business. Okay, let me keep reading down. What do we got here? Okay. No. So you can have. Sorry, I'm trying to find the short way to answer this question. So the question is, can you give access to an assistant, an outsourced person, to your Webfire account? And yes, you can, because we give you access to use it on 2 computers. But we don't have different levels of access. You can't decide somebody can look at one thing and not another thing, because it's all or nothing. So they're either in your account or they're not in your account. Okay, but you can use it on 2 computers or have an assistant do it and be able to do that. All right, David said he's only been with Webfire since the 10th, which is like 10 days. But you're loving all this stuff I'm learning. All right, you started with us to help your mother-in-law and her real estate. Well, that's always good, because if you keep your mother-in-law happy, man, life is a lot simpler that way. No questions. Jeet, you're welcome. All right. Yes, Thomas, you can do that. Gary, you're welcome. Got him answered, Brian. Okay, that's good. So if anybody's got any other questions, just post them up. And a couple of people earlier were asking, is there going to be training for the Tweet Lead Finder? And the answer is yes. There will be complete training on that. I'm not actually sure if it's up yet. We just got the tool added yesterday, which is why nobody knew it existed before today. Oh, and by the way, some people who are already logged into Webfire were like, I can't find Tweet Lead Finder. So you need to refresh the page or log out and log in again, so that the system knows to show you the tab. The tab to connect to Tweet Lead Finder is under Social. I know you'd think it was under Leads, but it's under Social for Twitter as opposed to Leads for Leads. Okay, we're going to find that, and you guys are rocking this. All right, great. Okay, so the question is, can you use Webfire for other social networks other than Twitter or Facebook? Well, you can use different tools for different things, but for auto posting, the social poster just works with Twitter and Facebook for auto posting. We're trying to program a workaround for Instagram. Twitter and Facebook allow us to legitimately, without violating any rules, auto post to them. Instagram has very specific rules against auto posting, which is why we don't just take the same technology and plug it into their API to do that.
And just as a side note, that's actually one of the things currently being worked on too. So that could be a new feature soon. So we're seeing what we could do there. But with that, Sean, should we get on with the cash giveaway? I think we've. All right. All right, and yes, just a quick side note. Yes, with the Tweet Lead Finder, the very first time you use it, it will ask you to authorize your Twitter account, so it will open a new page to do just that. So make sure you do that, and there's also a walkthrough that will show you how that's done. But that's very easy. Just enter essentially your info right there. All right. So should we go to the giveaway, Sean? Are you there, Sean, or did you mute yourself?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I flipped the button the wrong way to talk. Yes, I'm here. We can do that.
Alrighty.
Hey, Terry, different name. What was Backer Leads Finder is now. Oh, Brian just posted the answer. He can talk and type at the same time.
All right. So with that, Sean, I will do the giveaway if you want to type back some of the answers to these guys right here.
I will. Tori has the best reason so far why you should pick her. So I just want to say this ahead of time in case you pick her, because it is all random. But she's 9 months pregnant. She's due to have a baby on Friday. So congratulations to Tori.
Nice.
And Joshua says, I just want to say thank you to you guys. I joined Webfire a week ago. Today officially he has his first page ranking on Google. Awesome. That is absolutely terrific, Joshua.
All
That's
right.
outstanding.
That is really awesome. So glad you took action with that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. We always love to hear great stuff like this. So please be sure to let us know when good stuff happens. That's really awesome.
So what we'll do now is, again, every week we have a new call on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And next week we'll talk about some pretty cool stuff too, and we'll probably show off some other new stuff as well as talk about some new features and stuff. So we have some very cool tools in the works, which again, Webfire users will get access to the tools and stuff for free, and we'll I believe one should be completely ready by then, and we'll show off the newer one next week, as well as talk about some extra cool stuff that I think is kind of like a new way to get ranked, but also make like a lot more money at the same time, even outside of ranking. So we'll talk about that next week, as well as some other stuff there. But in the meantime, we can move on to the cash giveaway right here. So if you like the training, you can share, like, or comment at facebook.com/Webfire software. And if you leave a comment, we will do a live random drawing where we'll pick a random winner to get $100 cash on the spot right here. So again, just go to facebook.com/Webfire software. I'll just pause the screen here as I go to the fan page.
All right. Robert says he's been involved for a week and already has more traffic and more conversions and opt-ins on his site, which is great. William says, thanks, guys, for all your input, ideas, and support. Your company rocks. And that's just what we're seeing here. Yes, and so all these webinars are recorded. I know some of you got here late, but we always record the webinars, always, and post them up for you, along with the PowerPoint slides. So they're always posted in the member area, so you guys are there. Thomas says we should raise the price. No, that's not exactly what he said. He said the training was awesome. This is the last program anyone would ever need to succeed. It's worth $1 million. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that. So you see you guys are posting like crazy on Facebook, which is great. And some people said we should let Tori win, and some people said we didn't give them any money when they had children. So we'll see what really happens here now that she's laid down the challenge. Oh, okay, so now I understand that. All right, so tried to use Tweet Lead Finder while we were on the call, and in trying to use Tweet Lead Finder, you got blocked along the way, and the reason for that is probably because your pop-up blocker blocked Tweet Lead Finder from operating. So if you'd let it go through instead of blocking it, it would work, and life would be easier.
Yeah, the first time through, you'll either see a pop-up or a new tab which will ask you to authenticate it. And in the tutorial, it will show you exactly what it is right there, but it's just a separate screen that basically asks you for your info right there, and just make sure you enter it's just your account and password. It will be on Twitter itself, so it's not like we see that or anything. And then it'll just authenticate it, and then it should work just fine. So make sure that you do that and watch the walkthrough in case you're not sure on that. Make sure that you're not like blocking a pop-up or a new tab or anything like that. And then if not, just write support at webfire.com, but make sure you explain exactly what you did and all that. All right, guys, so again, I'll give you maybe another minute or so to go to facebook.com/webfire software. So again, facebook.com/webfire software. See how many comments and stuff we have. You can leave a comment there. And of course, likes and shares are always appreciated. Right now there's 34 or so comments. I'm sure there'll probably be a bunch more if I refresh in another second or so here. And we'll give it maybe half a minute, then we'll pick a random winner from that there. All right, and of course with that, guys, we do want to thank those of you that joined us on this call, and of course, any other questions or anything like that. I think we answered everyone, but in case someone missed anything, you can always write support@webfire.com, or better yet, use the help desk inside of Webfire just by clicking the support tab in the upper right side. So I'll give you guys another 10 seconds, then we'll do the final refresh, and we'll do the random drawing right there. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, I will click the final refresh. And I'll click view more comments. There's 57 right now. And a bunch of likes and shares and stuff too, so that's all cool.
I don't know, pretty good odds to win $100. I see some people posted like 3 times. They're trying to up the odds. All right.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, we're on to you, David Myers. All right.
Oh, that's funny. That's not even the person I saw. So Tori says refresh again because she got in there now.
Oh yeah, John Loeffler. Let's see. That's all good.
Oh,
so,
yeah, everybody's posting good comments. It's nice. We appreciate it. It's always nice to have fun with us while we're all working.
Yeah, comments good. All right, guys. What I'll do is, all right. So, Sean, first of all, I want you to pick number 1, 2, or 3. Pick 1, 2, or 3. 2. All right. So 2 would be in the middle.
I don't know what that means, but I'm picking 2.
So I put it in 3 sections: first, second, and third. So we'll go in the middle right there. So that's 2. Now I want you to say stop at a random point, and I will stop.
3, 2, 1, stop.
All right. It is David Stapleton.
All right. Congratulations, David.
So if your name is David Stapleton, or you look like that guy right there.
Or if you look just like his evil twin brother. All right.
You can, again, just write support@webfire.com and let us know your PayPal email, and we will get you off to $100 today. So again, just write support@webfire.com. Just make sure, obviously it has to be you and all that, or you can also private message us on Facebook as well right there. And we know your info, so you can't fool us or anything like that there. So again, just write support@webfire.com or private message us on Facebook, and we'll get that off to you today. So with that, guys, thanks much for being on this call, and we look forward to seeing you on next week's call Wednesday again at 3 p.m. Eastern. So thanks again, guys, and we'll talk.
I'm sorry, did you say 3 p.m. Eastern, Brian?
2 p.m. Eastern, sorry.
Thank you, because it's confusing enough to people who aren't in America without giving them the wrong time.
All right, so 2 p.m. Eastern. So sorry about that, but yes, so again at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Next Wednesday we'll have yet another training call, and just like every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern we'll have a new call. So thanks much, guys, and we look forward to talking to you next week. Take care. Bye.
All right, everybody, thank you.